And joining us now to discuss Border Commerce and Security Council Chairman Nelson Balido. Nelson, thanks so much for being with us here. I was shocked to hear what Leo just said, that the judge, the El Paso judge just said, yeah, you know, we're going to release them all because I guess we just don't have time to process them. I don't know that seemed like the best solution, but your reaction, how does this stuff keep happening?
Well, thanks for having me this afternoon. I'll tell you, well, what it does, the assistant district attorney asked for a stay. The judge decided not to grant the stay and delay the case for another day, which could have been today or tomorrow. So that's very unfortunate. But what this does, it just sends a bad message across the entire border and across the cartels that are actually looking and monitoring these types of communications, so they can go back and tell the people that they're smuggling across the borders, the ones that are paying the quota of anywhere between $3,000 to $5,000 per head to make it to the border, because no one crosses for free, is telling them, look, obviously, you have this kind of behavior, you're going to let go free. So your goal is to get to the border any which way you can, cutting razor wire, trampling our border agents, moving aside our Texas National Guard, and getting to the border or the border wall and turning yourself in, and then claiming asylum. And then these asylum laws, which all you got to say is, hey, I have credible fear of someone's after me, or I have credible fear of someone's going to assault my family, or the cartel is after me. The bar is so low to qualify for credible fear to be let into our country, given basically a temporary visa for you to come work in this country for these number of years. And I say number of years because it takes 3 to 4, sometimes 5 years to get in front of a magistrate for the first hearing. You may be coming back for a second or third hearing. In these hearings, less than 80% of the people ever show up, because ultimately they don't have a credible fear. They can't prove credible fear. So since they don't show up, now they become illegal, lost in America, doing whatever job they can, and then ultimately, you know, they're here to stay. So they're going on a one-way trip, on one-way ticket, any which way they can, and that's what we're seeing today. It's unfortunate.
It's unbelievable, especially I think the message this judge is saying to everyone coming across the border here: you can assault our law enforcement officers, and we're going to arrest you, but then we're going to let you go. And to your point here, Nelson, where do they even go? It takes years for them to get through the legal process down there. Let's bring in Michael Balboni, former New York State Homeland Security here. Michael, just your thoughts on this judge letting these people go on their own recognizance here. This is insane to me.
This is another example of the fact that this country can talk about the immigration issue, but they're not willing to put in any type of money towards this and resources. This is about putting people on the border. This is about border agents. This is about immigration judges. This is about ICE. All of this infrastructure that needs to have been built up over the years has not, because they've been sitting there saying there's no votes at the border. Well, now, because the entire country has had its sampling of this, now people are paying attention to this. But when you see this, who would want to hire anybody who's involved in that kind of a riot in the country? I mean, just, you know, Washington is dreaming that suddenly that this is a great workforce that the United States needs.
Yeah. Nelson, I want to switch over to this. We've been hearing it so much in the headlines. I'm talking about that word squatters, that until the past few weeks we rarely talked about. Squatters are taking over the homes of legal American citizens. And just a few days ago in Texas, shocking images showed the trash that squatters left behind in one woman's home. Now, after they broke into her house and sold her belongings at a yard sale. It seems that it's time to put a stop to this everywhere. It seems that it wasn't difficult for Florida Governor Ron DeSantis to do it. He just said, okay, enough. He passed the legislation, and that's a thing of the past. Is there any reason why every other state shouldn't follow suit?
There is no reason why every state should follow through, and they should have done it months ago. I'll tell you, this is something that's now becoming alive because someone who went viral on TikTok or Twitter. But this has been happening for months, if not years now, with people coming into this country. You got to remember, these folks a lot of the folks that are coming over here no longer have family ties. Traditionally, you've had family ties where someone would be at an aunt's house or a cousin's house that had come over, decades previous. Now, because we have have such a millions of people coming over that have no ties whatsoever. They have nowhere to go. So now the flavor of the month or the flavor of the year is going into squatting in these homes. Shame on the people that let them in there without any type of background. But that's the other thing, backgrounds. Because you have Venezuela, Nicaragua, Cuba, these other countries, left socialist countries, do not share any information, whether these people were in jail, they have a rap sheet to anything in the United States. We do not share this information. There's nothing to go on, and we let them in on their own reconnaissance, and ultimately this is the havoc that they create. This is all they know how to do.
Up in absolute droves here. Guys, can we bring up that video again of all the trash these people left behind this woman? This is insane.
After selling all of her belongings.
Look at that.
Even the light fixtures are gone.
Light fixtures gone. I wish, look at that on the floor. There's, that right there. All that trash. This reeks of third world country behavior. This is not the United States that we once were. We're creeping further and further into that third world area. I think, Michael, I'll give you 30 seconds to respond to this.
It's a crime. It's a crime. It's larceny to take other people's property, period. These folks should be prosecuted. They should be put in jail. This is the property laws in this country have been set since its beginning. Forget about it. These guys go to jail. There should not be any other result here.
Seems logical. I don't know why.
The squatting thing blows my mind. I mean, how every state is like, okay, shut that down immediately. I don't know.
Gentlemen, Nelson Balido, Michael Balboni, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.